Hello. We're on. Sorry about the light. Well, the music just got loud. Normally doing this during the daytime, so I've got natural light coming through the window, so I've had to put a light up so you can actually see me. Alright, 1 second again. Be back in a second. So I have to grab my phone in case it rings. Quickly put that on silent. Okay. All right. So, excuse the drink. Sorry, I've just not long finished some exercise. I ran out of time to drink it before 9 o'clock. So, as usual, just doing it live because it's easier for me at my end. I don't care who's on live. You can always watch back later as it's saved. For those that don't know me, my name's Kai. I've been doing healing and spiritual work for over 20 years in this lifetime. And if you want to know more about me, if you haven't seen the first video on my channel, go back and watch that one. So 9 p.m, something that I wanted to bring up tonight. So in the title of the video, I've got, accessing cosmic and divine forces to accelerate your growth. Well, we live in a reality that is quite mathematical. So if you study the masculine side of spirituality and delve into the sacred geometry of our reality, you will find maths and numbers play a big part in that. And 9 is a master number. If you do some research into Tesla and why he was so excited about the numbers 3, 6, and 9, you'll find that 9 is a master number. And just to go into that a little bit, 9, if you look at the 9s times table, so 9 times 1 equals 9, 9 times 2 equals 18, 9 times 3 is equals 27, 9 threes are 36. Now if you go right through all the way to 12, like you do in primary school, you'll find that every answer, if you then multiply, if you break the answer down into individual numbers and add those together, it'll always come back to 9. So when you get 9 times 2 equals 18, then you add the 2, 1 plus 8 equals 9. 9 times 3 equals 27. 2 plus 7 equals 9. 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. And all the way down. 9 times 12, 108. 1 plus 0 plus 8 equals 9. So 9's a master number in our reality. And 3 and 6, obviously, you can add those to make 9, so they're tied into it. I won't go too much further into that tonight, but I highly recommend doing some research on that. Just Google Tesla 369 and you'll get heaps of stuff. But on that topic, if you look at a date coming up, that we have coming up in 2 days' time, the 22nd, people are calling it a portal, an opportunity for advancement, spiritual growth. If you break the numbers down, so if you look at the 22nd of the 2nd, well, that's 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. And then if you look at the year, 2022, well, that's 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, that's another 6. And if you add those together, 6 plus 6 equals 12. 1 plus 2 then equals 3. So then, and if you add in the time, 2:22 p.m., that's another 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. Add that to the date, 3 and 6 equals 9. So if you look at the numerology and the math side of things, it is special. It ties into the divine code within our matrix and our universe. Why is it a divine number? I think Tesla believed it was the godly or divine number, because once you access it and you start to implement and dial into those numbers in your everyday life, or bring them into your life, then you can start to bend reality to your will somewhat, and your liking. So in a couple of days' time, why I've brought this up, in a couple of days' time, I intend to hold a meditation. If anyone who'd like to join at 22 past 2, I will create an event for it. But it will be a great opportunity for people to accelerate their growth. I intend to focus on helping people release and let go all the manipulated consciousness in their personal matrix. which I've been doing in individual sessions with people, and it's very powerful. But obviously, it's an opportunity to reach more people in a group setting online. I haven't decided if I'll use YouTube yet. I might make it a private Zoom call. I'll just have to ask my higher self on that one. So the ones playing the malevolent side of our reality have known about the importance of numbers, and that's why they, in their rituals, will often be on specific dates and at certain times, as they know you can access certain frequencies. And that's what it is. It's basically frequency. So what if you... I'll show you something. I have a specific healing special sound frequency healing CD on my phone from Anima Music. And they've done there's 6 tracks. And the 6 tracks are using specific hertz frequency. The first one is UT 369 hertz. That's track 1. Well, straight away you can see the significance there. 369 hertz. I don't even have to add those up. Track 2 is RE 417 hertz. Now these are specific frequencies that they've found that heal the body and put the body into a higher state of vibration, which allows healing to take place. So track 2 is 417 hertz. 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 7 is 12. 1 and 2 equals 3. Track 3 is MI 528 hertz. 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus, then you add those. 1 and 5 equals 6. The next one is FA 639 hertz. So then we got the same, just in a different order, 3, 6, and 9 again. The next one is SOL 714 hertz. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So back to the 3 again. And the last track is LA 852. 8 plus 5 is 13, plus 2 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. Back to a 6. So they're all the master numbers. Now, if you put those, most of you are probably aware of Dr. Emoto's work, where he put sound and music into water and then froze it, and then studied the crystals. I don't know if there's any done specifically with those hertz frequencies or not, but the pure divine music created beautiful stars, star-like crystals, and the satanic malevolently guided music, we'll put it that way. It was a lot of distortion in the crystals, in the water crystals, and it looked ugly. So the divine sounds created beautiful crystals to the naked eye. They had a lot of sacred geometry within them. So it was like I was heading down that path because I am getting back to why is the 9 the God code, or those are divine numbers. Those stars just don't look beautiful because, I'll put it another way. What is beauty? Beauty has been studied as, and the results were, just if you study beauty in human form, for example, they did research and found that the main factor of what people considered beautiful was symmetry. So if you put a line down a person's face, and each side of that line was a perfect mirror of the other one, so perfect symmetry, people considered that beautiful. And if you look at sacred geometry, the platonic solids that make up, the 5 platonic solids that make up the flower of life, Merkaba, they all have perfect symmetry. So if you put a line down the middle, each side is a reflection of the other. If you look at flowers that are beautiful, what people consider beautiful, they're often got the sacred geometry. And great symmetry. So these numbers you can access and use. This energy, these dates, you can access and use to accelerate your consciousness and your growth and development. Like I said before, the malevolent ones, the ones playing the malevolent role, which are your teachers, are also using those to manipulate, to control the system, what people call the matrix. That is a system of control. And how they do it is through your beliefs. So in the last video, I went into your fears and how that you're only born with 2 fears. Everything else is learnt behavior, or which some of it is rooted in your previous lifetimes. So your fears, your worries, and your doubts are your teachers, because they're showing you what, if you tap into those, you can find the creation point of those and release it and let it go, so you're free of it. And then that clears you, it clears up your channel to your higher self, and then your beliefs can start to come in from your higher self, not the control matrix. So obviously the ones playing the malevolent role, they know this. They know if they control the majority, they control the beliefs of the majority, then they control the world, which is what they've been doing for a long time. Some of the things they've been doing to do that are changing history, so removing history, anything that doesn't fit into their narrative. Some of the oldest incidents in that were the burning of Alexandria and the amazing library that was there. The burning of some other major cities. I don't know for sure, but if you did some digging, you'd probably find that in a lot of the big fires in the past, they more than likely targeted certain buildings that were holding information and knowledge. Some of those books were shifted to the Vatican and held there in secret. How else do they do it? In more modern times, they've taken control of the school system. So in the last 100 years, and in particular, they've really gone more intently in that in the last few decades. Because I know the children, they're just open books, ready for learning, and you can just fill their heads full of knowledge and information that is controlled information, which creates belief systems around our reality. At the moment, I know a lot of parents who are awake, but their children have gone through the public school system and they can't get through to them. The teenagers in particular just think the parents have gone mad. And when you're a teenager, that is when your ego is at its highest. So if anything, a lot of kids will rebel against their parents because you're challenging their egos. And it's at its most, like I said, at its highest point in a human experience is teens and early 20s. Most people don't experience some sort of ego death until they get to about 28, which is not a full ego death. I should just a chink in the ego. By late 20s, 28, 29, 30, which was the case for me. was around 29 for me. So they control the school system. And more recently, the television networks. So the documentary Out of Shadows showed that the television industry was started in the USA by ex-Nazi scientists. So after the Second World War, a lot of the Nazi scientists were captured by the US military, but by that stage, that was actually the deep state. So the deep state cabal have been, they manufactured that war, they started that war, they controlled the narrative on that war, they got what they want out of it, and they grabbed the scientists that they wanted to continue the work to bring down America, as the USA was and still is a stronghold for free thinkers in the West. So if you control America, you pretty much control a large chunk of the world, which they knew that. The founding fathers of the USA were free thinkers, and their constitution that they put together is pretty powerful, and it has been a big reason for the attitudes of the American people, and that patriotic, while patriotism, it's a double-edged sword. It does build strength within your local community. It does also create division against other countries as well. Patriotism with ignorance. Patriotism with awareness is a bit different. But as you can see in current events, in a lot of states in the USA, particularly red states, they're not buying into and they're rejecting the current narrative that the deep state has been running there with regards to the pandemic. So they use the media, television, print media, the school system, and in more recent times, the internet. But they thought they could control the internet, but they were wrong. They're trying now harder to control the internet. But that's backfired on them big time, because basically for every malevolent manipulation going on, there's another two benevolent sources popping up, and they can't control it. It's like them trying to play that game whack-a-mole. They can't keep up. So they've used their main sources like Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the real, the obvious deep state agency programs. But the more they push the censorship, the more it just exposes them. And that will tie into global events right now. They're trying to, like I said, whack-a-mole with events with the global awakening. Look at the truckers in Canada, for example, which sparked a lot of other truckers into action around the world, including here in Australia, and the convoy to Canberra. Which they've infiltrated. There is deep state agents within that movement. And no doubt they're trying to infiltrate Canada as well, the Canadian truckers. But every push they make, every move they make, every push, it actually just exposes them even more. So this is where we're at. We've got, the human awakening on this curve like this, and then you've got the deep state cabal trying to push against it, push it down, stop it, and then it's just this going like this. Because every move they make at the moment is actually just revealing them, is exposing them. So it's all part. Every chess move they make is just going to continue with the wake. It's going to continue to wake people up. So people's beliefs are changing. And as those beliefs get changed through awareness, it will start to reflect in the outer world. So in the post that I put, and in the description of this video, the title is "When Your Inner World Comes into Order, Your Outer World Will Come into Order." And I don't think most people aren't fully aware of the power in that statement. It is the key. It is the master key to unlock your true potential. That statement tells you that if you want, you can completely transform and then be the master of your own reality. So let's go into that a little bit. Your outer world reflects your inner world. What does that mean? So within our human experience, we experience emotions, don't we? And like I said, our belief systems can be imprinted from emotional experiences, but also from the system, like I said, the system that's been set up, the mind control program via the media, the school, our history books, or available history. So what's just an example? What's the main difference between someone being a highly successful, or two people, you can put this to any field, whether it's sports, business, or whatever. So two people who grew up in a pretty similar environment, meaning, they weren't destitute, they weren't poor, maybe middle class upbringing. So they had everything pretty much that they needed. They went to school. So what's the biggest difference between someone succeeding in a specific field and someone failing? It's a belief. If they believe in themselves enough, they will reach a certain level of success. So the emotions, how that comes into play. So if you're constantly beaten down as a kid emotionally, energetically, so, you might have had a parent who was very negative, pessimistic, maybe even narcissistic. He constantly told you you weren't you weren't good enough. You'll never succeed in anything. You're useless. Well, that has an emotional hook as well as a mental one. So it's pretty powerful, and those sort of things are very common with my clients, for example. We've got to go back and undo some of that, release the emotion. So people will store that emotion in their system, in their personal matrix, and then that's replaying like a mind loop, and it creates self-sabotaging behaviors. So by going back and healing and letting go of that emotion, that then frees you to start changing the mind control program. I'll share some of my personal journey. So in my 20s, I started to get right into reading books, and I was in network marketing, and I was even in Amway for a while. Amway, best thing about Amway was a personal development program. Was their personal development program, not their products. So they had a lot of systems that help people succeed. But in my own personal journey, I was going like this. I was having some success, then I was self-sabotaging. Some success, self-sabotaging. Some success, self-sabotaging. The reason that happened is because I hadn't dealt with the emotional stuff. So I hadn't healed my past, allowing me to stay on the up and up. So it was the emotional baggage that was pulling me back down. So it was this constant roller coaster. So that's tied into your beliefs. So by creating a belief system of limitation, the malevolent ones know they can control the narrative. But by you healing yourself and clearing yourself of all the manipulation and your past emotional baggage, you can then start to create your reality without limits. Well, there's certain limitations in this reality, but there is, if you read an autobiography of a yogi, Yogananda has stated he's met yogis that could manifest reality right in front of him. So manifest objects. So they got to the point where they could manipulate physicality, the physical system. Just going to pause here for a second. Oh, I can hear someone about to come in the door. So obviously that's at the top level, the highest level is then being able to manipulate matter, physical matter. But between there, you can just start to control the way you live. I'll share some personal insights in that. So, like I said to you, in my 20s, I was on a roller coaster up and down, but then my higher self guided me to a healing center, and I started working, which I've shared in previous videos. I started working with some of the healers there and clearing up my past and letting go of an emotional baggage from my childhood. And then each healing basically was like a sandbag of weight off my waist, and cleared up my channel to my higher self. So I started to develop my psychic ability started to open up once I'd let go of my past and changed my beliefs around our reality. At the time, I also happened to pick up a book on sacred geometry. So I was getting both the feminine aspect of spirituality and the masculine at the same time. I was learning about how our reality is created, how it was created, how in the flower, John Volo Melchizedek's Flower of Life books, he goes into the sacred geometry aspect and the mathematics of our reality and creation. So I was learning both. So all that was having a huge influence on my beliefs and my belief system. And as I went through my 30s, I continued to let go and work on healing my stuff, my baggage, and my past. I continued each year it went past, I continued to improve my connection and clear up that connection to my higher self. I started to communicate with other dimensions. I had visitations from multi-dimensional beings. And everything just started to open up. And improved and increased my awareness of this matrix we call reality. So some more examples. is that I don't buy insurance. Insurance is one of the manipulation tools of the deep state cabal. That whole sales pitch around it is creating a belief system. A belief system that there's actually accidents. There's no such thing as accidents. It's you creating your reality from your inner world. So I haven't bought any insurance for 15 years now. Once I realised that. Now, to get away with that, obviously, not only do you need to heal your past, but you need to be able to keep your vibration at a certain level, so you don't drop down where you could be manipulated into having a accident. Which, I have come close to that a couple of times, where I've been attacked and then it's lowered my vibration. Multi-dimensionally attacked. So my belief system is creating a accident-free reality for me. That's my belief. What else? So my beliefs are that we are multidimensional beings and we are co-creators of our reality. And therefore, I have a large say in what takes place in my life. And I have a lot of, in opening up my connection to my higher self, my life, daily life in this matrix is in alignment with my higher self and that level of consciousness. So that also plays a part in creating your reality. And in previous videos, I've gone into ego. The ego will do its best to try and keep you at a certain level where it gets a say. And it takes some time to work through that. So on the 22nd of the 2nd at 2:22, might also do in that meditation not only a release of the manipulated consciousness or the energy manipulated programs in your consciousness, might also do a little exercise on or something on the ego as well to help people with that. So it could be pretty powerful meditation. I will create an event around it. And if you believe that this is where your beliefs come into it. If you believe that that meditation will be special for you, it will be. If you believe it won't be. If you believe that those numbers, the 22nd and the 2nd at 2:22 p.m. are special, if you believe they're special and they're going to help you accelerate your growth, they will. If you believe they won't, they won't. So think about that. Your beliefs are how you create your reality. And like I said, that's why the malevolent manipulators want to control your belief systems. They know if they do, if they control the majority of the people's belief systems, they control the world. But each day that goes past, more and more awake and aware people, more people are being activated. And the malevolent ones are losing the battle to continue that control. I know to a lot of people, they're struggling at the moment. They're really challenged that things are still the way they are. But you have to understand that this is thousands of years of, or undoing thousands of years of control. And that's going to take some time. But like I said before, every single thing now that you see in the outer world, in your outer world, is part of the Great Awakening. So with the malevolent players, like I said before, who are the teachers of this reality, it's a duality. Can't have the light without the dark. They're the teachers. You can't have evolution with people sitting in their comfort zones. So everything that they're doing is continually waking up people. Every move, every push against the awakening just wakes people up more and exposes them. So it's all good. Everything we're seeing is all good. Now, there's a lot of people complaining about the manipulators and the infiltrators in our local revolution, the convoy to Canberra. There's some people saying that was actually, the whole thing was set up by the manipulators. And that also so they can blame them for lack of supplies in the shops. Well, maybe in Canada, because those truckers have been there for a lot longer and they're still there. Every day they're there, whereas Canberra was just the weekend, mainly the weekend. But regardless, like I said, all of it is exposing those agents and the malevolent players. So even though, for example, our local Canberra rally could have all been heavily manipulated, it actually doesn't matter. It's all part of the growth and learning. They'll just continue to expose themselves. There was a lot of positivity that came out of people being there all together, even though, their motivation was very emotional, came from an emotional place instead of a higher consciousness level. There was still, for a lot of people, a huge benefit. Instead of just sitting at home, they got up and did something which they believed, back to beliefs, was of benefit. And like I said, even if it wasn't, they still received the benefit. People ask me why, if I was going, or if I'm going to go, and my answer is pretty simple. If I'm guided to go, I'll go. That's it. If I'm guided from my higher consciousness to go, I'll go. I'll be there. If not, I won't be there. My ego and my emotions don't rule my life and are not my drivers and not my reality creators. But I'm not going to bag anyone that went. I'm not going to judge anyone that did go. It's not why if you felt strongly, be mindful of where this energy is, where the driving force is coming from. But if you do really feel strongly in doing something, then you should follow it. You may get a strong lesson out of it if it's more from an emotional standpoint, that you're there, that you did something. Well, I guarantee you'll get a lesson out of it. But that's all part of an individual's growth and their experience. It's all stepping stones. So we're just about to reach an hour. I don't like to go over an hour too much. If anyone has any questions, I know there's only a couple of people watching at the moment, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll wind it up. So, I'll finish on beliefs again. And something for you to ponder. Are your beliefs your own? Are they yours? Are your beliefs limiting? Are your beliefs stopping you from achieving your heart's desire? If so, I guarantee you, then you have a manipulated consciousness. So it will be in your best interest to dive deep into that. Work with someone, maybe a healer that you trust and know, to clear up your consciousness of all the controlled stuff. Like I said, I'll do a meditation on Tuesday to help with that, or maybe get the ball rolling for people. But that will be a meditation for people who've had some experience in meditation and done some healing work. Newbies might struggle with it if they can't calm their mind down, if they can't drop into a certain level of meditative state, then they probably won't achieve the result that they want. For those that might need some assistance, who are they've had some experience, but I'm going to recommend that an individual set up their space really special. So if they're going to do that meditation on Tuesday, create a space for healing, whether it's your bedroom or another altar space you have set up in your home. Get the beautiful aromatherapies happening. Get calm yourself down with the frequencies and the divine sounds. Get your state relaxed and calm so you can quickly access your inner world. All right, I'll finish there. Please like, subscribe, and share to anyone you feel will benefit from this information. Now that I'm back on Facebook, I'll probably be sharing a bit more on there after my 30-day ban. So yeah, expect a bit more action on the Facebook pages. But yeah, look out for an event created in the socials for Tuesday's meditation. All right, till then, love and blessings to all.